Hi everyone, it's Wiza. Welcome to Unlock, the show that decodes companies. Today I receive Olivier and Kelly from Faurecia and we'll talk about the recruitment campaign because they are looking for business developer. We'll see that in details, but first let's start with Pitch Me That. Hello Kelly, hello Olivier.
Hello Luisa.
Hi. How are you?
Very well, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Happy to have you in the studio.
Thank you very much for having us here.
Yeah. So Kelly, you are product marketing and strategy.
Yes.
And you came with one of your colleagues, Olivier, and Olivier, you are customer strategy.
Yes.
So you know your challenge, you'll have to pick first in what minute?
I'll do my best.
You told me you weren't ready, right?
Did I?
Okay, the countdown is on.
Okay, so Faurecia is an automotive supplier. We are a very big group, 120,000 employees. We're present in more than 37 countries. And we will make around 18 billion euros turnover this year. To make it short, we are supplying around one car out of three in the complete world. Our technology and our products are present in one car of three, so that is a lot. And what are we delivering? We are perfectly positioned for the future of mobility, towards a cockpit of the future. So that is the experience you can feel and live in a car, with the products that is an instrument panel, door panels, the seats, of course, center consoles, screens, ventilation, and all this interface with the electronics. And something you cannot see, that is then the sustainable mobility, focused especially on the hydrogen and the fuel cell and the exhaust systems.
Right.
That would be to make it short. I can go then for longer.
Well, you spoke more than 1 minute, but it's okay. Today you're hiring people because it's important for you to integrate the young generation, the new generation into your thoughts. So we'll see what kind of profiles you're looking for and also what do you offer to young talents. Let's see that. Well, are you looking for a specific profile or background universities?
Basically, we are hiring a lot of different people, so especially for internships, Master 2 students, but we're also hiring young graduates,
right.
And also for VIE, so I'm not going to translate that, but basically for French expatriation. Yeah. So very differentiate from business schools to engineering schools and law schools.
And is there any prerequisites, any fundamentals to integrate Faurecia?
So I would say the main thing is to be able to speak English. So we are based here in France, but we're global, and the international language of our company is English. So that would be the first mission. The other thing is to just have an international mindset because we are global, and also just be open-minded.
And on average, during the year, how many recruitments do you make per year?
We are actually hiring over 1,000 apprentices and interns a year. And I think we're the second biggest employer for VIE in France, with around 450 VIE every year that we're sending abroad.
And what about the hiring process? Is there a specific one?
Hiring process in France, because I need to take this one because Kelly has been hired from the US.
Yes.
So in France, basically you just send us the application on the website. So it's careers.faurecia.com. And after being selected, you receive a first call. It's around 15 minutes with HR. Then you're invited for a meeting, first meeting HR, and then your future manager or one of the team member. And normally we don't ask you to come too many times, and we always give a regular feedback to know how it was from your side, but also to give you our perception so you know how you're doing.
Just to understand the goal of a young business developer in Faurecia, can you just give us examples of his main mission?
So really the main mission of a salesperson or a business developer is to be the voice of the customer. So you're representing Faurecia when you meet with the customer, but you're representing the customer internally. So being able to manage all of these different relationships, being able to grow the business, to have a customer vision and strategy, and really to be able to settle things in a fair way. That's what we focus on for our salespeople.
And for that young talents, do you have a particular mentoring system?
We do. So we always, with our apprentices, we always offer them a mentor when they come into the company, so that they have someone to guide them throughout the process. And it's something we really value in our culture. I've worked at the company for 2 years, and I myself have a mentor within Faurecia.
And can you say that you have a career management plans for young talents?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah?
We do. We have specific HR department in every business groups in every country. Really dedicated HR people to help you defining your career path in the company.
And do they have access to different kind of training?
We do. So we have what's called Faurecia University. So that offers in-house training, but we also partner with a lot of schools, a lot of consulting firms to have really focused trainings depending on what role you have within the company. And we actually, as each employee every year, we have a set number of hours that we need to dedicate to training. So it's something that's really important in our culture.
And can you give us examples of trainings?
Yeah, so I'll actually be doing one next week
Yes.
that will be focused on customer voice and customer excellence. So that would be one example.
So you hired after internships, right?
Yes, it's around 60% of interns that are being proposed a job, so it's a pretty high rate.
Okay, and what areas of improvement are you working on in Faurecia?
So I would say we have quite a few, and actually you could probably speak to our customer voice.
Yeah, we have now started an initiative that is called the Faurecia Signature, and it's basically improving our customers' perception. So we know how important our customers, but we may forget focused on the business to tell them how important they are and that we care about them. So it's proposing really just an experience, a nice experience to the customer.
And where do you stand in terms of equal opportunities?
So as a company, we're at 26% female versus male, which is not where we want to be. So we've established some initiatives that we're working on to try and grow that percentage. But really in the sales function, I think we're doing much, much better than that.
It's much better.
Yeah.
You have some departments that are historically, let's say, more attracting women than men, and I think in sales it's
sales
much
is definitely
higher
one of them.
than the average.
Yeah.
Well, I want to know more about your daily life at work. What's the better example for you to illustrate the work-life balance in Faurecia?
Very interesting. You have plenty. Basically, the work-life balance starts, I think, with flexible working hours. You may also do home working.
Mm-hmm.
And about the daily life, it's sometimes business trips, sometimes it's fine working from home. It's calls, meetings. Do you want to enhance?
Yeah, no, I think we're very flexible. I mean, as an example, I'm getting ready to move back to the US, so I was home office today while they were packing all of my things to ship. So they're very flexible.
And what about Faurecia career path? What makes the career so unique?
So what I really love about our company is that we have so many different functions, we have so many different regions that we operate in, so the opportunities are limitless. As I was kind of mentioning before we went live, so I'm an American employee, but I've been here in France for 18 months, and I'm getting ready to go back. So those are just some of the types of things that you have the opportunity to do, is to move and see different areas of the company.
What about you, Olivier? What about Faurecia career path?
I came for Faurecia Career Path. I just joined the company 6 months ago.
All right.
And this is exactly what I'm looking for. So I hope, and I know because of this HR department I've been talking about, that they will help me go abroad and do also different tasks and different missions, also in different departments, not only focused in sales, but if I want to go more into operations, purchasing, or maybe HR, I will have the opportunity. They won't say me, no, you are in this department, you have to stay.
Yeah, so as an example, I was working in account management, and I've had the opportunity to change functions. So I'm currently doing product marketing and product strategy, but I'll be going back to the US and doing sales. So there's a lot of kind of mobility within the company, within functions.
Right. I ask you many questions. I'm not the only one. Now this is student sports. Let's take their questions.
Sure.
All right. We'll take the first one.
Okay, we'll maybe
Here we
share,
go.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Quelles sont les valeurs de l'entreprise?
What about the values?
The values of the company. It's actually a pretty easy answer to give, because we have started in 2014 a very strong cultural program cultural transformation program that is named Being Faurecia, and it just describes through code of conduct, code of management, what should be the values of the company. So basically it's entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
You need to work in autonomy. We are expecting, the company is expecting you to work with energy. We are working in a very respectful environment, so it's there is a lot of respect and it's very key. And we are leading by example. We have also a code of management that is telling our manager how they should behave. So everything can be seen on the internet. We're not hiding such things, and we're actually really proud of having such values.
And it's part of our performance evaluation every year. Kind of, are we aligned with the Faurecia values? So it's something that we really drive in our culture.
All right. Next one.
Est-ce que la proportion d'hommes et de femmes est la même?
So as we mentioned earlier, so as a company we're at 26%, but it's something that we're really working towards. We've got a committee that's in place and initiatives that we're working towards, not only to attract more women, but also to create an environment where they feel comfortable and want to work at Faurecia.
All right.
Might be an additional value that we have indeed with this initiative. This is one of our conviction that diversity is a strength. So we're really working and embodying these values.
Yes.
All right.
Est-ce que c'est important d'avoir une autre langue en plus de l'anglais?
We? Well, we are a French-based company, but very international. As I was saying, we're present in 37 countries. So English is the official language, as Kelly was saying, but definitely if you speak another language is always a strength. I think English is needed, as you said, but a second language is always a strength, and a third, it helps.
And as a business developer or a salesperson, it really depends on your customer. So we wouldn't place you with a customer that spoke German, for example, if you don't speak German. So we really work to align you with the right
All right.
group.
Are there more young people, more old people?
I don't
Young
know.
Define old.
I don't know how to say that.
That's a sales answer. What does it mean being old?
Yeah.
Actually, the company is not that old. Officially, it's 20 years old, 21 now.
All right.
Only. It's been created with different mergers from different companies. I mean, it hasn't been started today. Bertrand Faure is started in 1914, so it's been a while, but the company has been evolving, and the name Faurecia is only 20 years old. So I would say it's a pretty mix. It's a really mix, and of course depends in the country and everything. If you are at the headquarters, it might be a bit younger. If you are in some offices, countries, might depend. But I think it's pretty well mixed.
Pretty balanced.
Yeah.
We don't do statistics about age. It's not the most important.
And we are young, so right.
And we
Yeah, you are the better example. All right.
Quelles sont les ambitions de l'entreprise à long terme?
So the company's tagline is inspiring mobility, and so we really strive to be the leader in technology and innovation. In Olivier's introduction, he talked also about sustainable mobility. So one of the missions that we're really striving towards is to be carbon neutral in 2030, and it's something that we're really driving in all of the parts of our organization. As far as kind of that inspiring mobility, we're looking at things like cockpit of the future. So what does the interior of the vehicle look like as we move towards autonomous driving? And we really want to be at the forefront of that technology.
All right. Do you want to add something? No?
We are aiming
Sounds clear.
growth. I mean,
Growth.
for the business developer, it's important.
Yes.
We confirmed, let's say, very high objectives,
Yeah.
and we want to grow up to 20 billion euro turnover within 3 years. So that might be also a vision that the company has, and where we tend to go.
Increase shareholder value.
All right.
Canned answer.
Okay.
Alors, qu'en est-il de la mobilité dans votre entreprise? Est-ce qu'il y a des postes proposés dans d'autres régions de France? Est-ce que vous avez d'autres filiales de la société un peu partout, que ce soit à l'étranger également?
So yes, we operate in 37 countries. We have just under 200 sites. So there's plenty of opportunity if people are looking to move. As I mentioned, I came from the US to France. I'll go back. But there are so many different opportunities if you want to travel abroad.
Every time. All right. Last one.
Si je ne m'entends pas bien avec mon manager, comment est-ce que je peux gérer la situation correctement?
That's a good question.
We would like to know the answer.
Yes, sure. Well, first let me say hi to mine. It's a very good question. Basically, as we are working, we have those values and we are really embodying them. So I think the first thing, if you don't come along with your manager, is to speak about it and not to keep it for yourself. If you cannot speak about it with him, we have or her, it's with your manager. It's I mean, HR are always here to help you, and we have not only procedures but just a feeling to this. So if you don't speak about it, people, colleagues, other managers will also ask you proactively if you feel fine, why you feel tired. So it's really very important that people feel well, because energy is one of our core values. So it also matters how you fit within the company, and of course, if you come along with your manager.
All right.
And part of our feedback system when we do our performance evaluation is not only to get feedback about ourselves, but to give our managers feedback. So it's an open dialogue to have those discussions.
All right, so HR is the key.
Yes, always.
Well, now as experts, I guess you have tips to succeed at job interview. So I will ask you questions and you'll have to answer do or don't. Ready?
Okay.
Yes.
Ready?
Here we go.
We have to say at the same time.
Yeah, at the
Okay,
same time,
what if we-
exactly.
what if we
Okay.
disagree?
So first question, do or don't dressing casually for a job interview?
Don't.
What does that mean? How should they get dressed?
I would say at least business casual for an interview. I would err on the formal side, so wearing a suit, you'll never go wrong.
Yeah? And every day at work, how should they?
It really depends on which office you work in. So I think in our headquarters, it's more, I guess,
It's more business casual.
Well, yeah, suits. But in some of our more remote sites, it can be more business casual, and it depends too. We say dress for your day. So if you're meeting with a customer, you'll be dressed a little bit more polished.
Yeah.
But if you're just at the office, it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, and we can go further if we say some customers, as some American customers, will not allow you to wear a tie. Some
True.
others. So there is a very strong cultural
Yeah.
side to this question, and the most important is actually agility. Just let's say come as you are, and you will see if you adapt yourself. You'll adapt yourself pretty fast.
All right. Do or don't turning up to an interview with a beard?
Do. If it's
It has to
clean.
be well
Depends.
maintained.
Yeah.
Yes. It's okay, but it needs to be tamed, I guess is the
It's-
best way to
Let's
say
say tame times.
it. Tamed.
All right. Do or don't speaking too informally in an interview, in a job interview?
Don't.
Don't.
No.
And same around the office?
I think you just have to know who you're talking to. If you talking to our CEO Patrick Kohler, I would say don't be
No.
so casual. But you know,
And
if you're
with
with colleagues,
his,
it's okay.
his own manager?
I think you just have
No?
to get to know whatever the
I
dynamic
think in this
is.
case, you'll be expected to
You
be
have to
agile and
adapt,
to
sure.
adapt.
Yeah.
It depends if your manager is a young or a bit older, if what he really or she anticipated this one. What matters to your manager.
Right. Do or don't asking for tea when you offer a coffee during the job interview?
Do
I think that's okay.
stay as you are. Basically, you know, if you don't want to drink, you don't have to.
To drink. All right. Do or don't not bringing a paper copy of your resume to a job interview?
Is that a double? You do need to bring your resume.
Yeah,
Yes.
you do need. I think, of course, we want to be digital, but if anything happens, it's better. You don't have to. We have a tool also in our HR where they can have access to your resume. That's why we are always asking for online applications, so we can have access and we always have
And
it.
do you ask for a cover letter?
I don't, but I don't know.
Me neither.
You see?
I think.
Maybe.
I don't
We might have
think-
to phone a friend. It depends on the position.
Okay. Well, do or don't sending a video presentation instead of a resume? Don't. It's
Not
weird.
unless you were applying for maybe one of our more like the
Creative.
design team. You know, I think that there are maybe
Creative
functions that's
job.
okay.
All right.
Not for sales.
Okay. Doing a job interview by Skype is possible?
Yes,
we
that's
are
also-
very. Yeah, I mean, do.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Of course, we are very international, and we are trying to reduce our CO2 footprint. So we won't say to people to travel all around just for a job interview.
And most of the time, we'll do a phone interview
Yeah.
or a Skype interview first before we bring you to the site.
All right. Do or don't saying I don't know when you ask something in an interview or at work?
Do.
It's okay. Yeah.
I think it's better to say you don't know than pretend you
Yeah.
do. And also in front of the customer. If you don't know, just say it. Don't pretend. I think that's not sustainable to lie or pretend.
But also to say that you'll follow up with an
Yeah.
answer, I think is the way to go.
All right.
Yeah.
Do or don't admitting a failure.
Do.
Yeah.
Do.
Exaggerating past experience.
Don't.
No. Using social networks to apply.
Do.
That's okay.
Yeah, because we are
Which
very
ones?
present on LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. Yeah.
Job teaser, of course.
Mhm.
So, of course, you can apply also not only on our career website, but also
Mhm.
LinkedIn and job teaser.
Right. Do or don't expressing your opinion when you're an intern.
That's
Do.
okay. Do.
We are, one of our values is transparency. So, of course, you should. I mean, we are hiring a lot of interns, so that's the objective, to know how they feel and what they think.
And last one, do or don't knowing everything about Faurecia. For
And
Do.
do as much as you can.
Do,
Yeah.
exactly. Do, but know everything would be
At least
pretending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do your research. So I would say before an interview, go to our website, understand what some of our values are to make sure you're aligned. But you don't have to know everything about it.
And I think the most important is being aligned, not only being prepared for the interview, but
Mhm.
know for yourself if you want to step in the future mobility.
All right. Now
Yes.
we'll spend the last 3 minutes together. You'll have to convince young talents to join you. We'll see that.
You want
So
to
why
start?
students, young talents should join you?
Well, I can tell you why I joined.
Yeah.
Because I joined only 6 months ago. So I wanted to be part of this future mobility, and I really appreciated the vision that the company has toward this future. And I wanted to work with autonomy, and I wanted to do something to be part of this. So the company is ready to change, is willing to change, and it has very ambitious goals, and it's giving a lot of energy and spending a lot of time and energy towards this. And I found it, so I can say I checked actually everything that I've been looking for.
All right.
And I would say, there's two things. There's what we do and there's how we do it. I think Faurecia is very well placed to be one of the most innovative automotive suppliers. So I think it's a really exciting time to be working in our company. And also just in terms of how we do it. So we're great at having this cross-functional exposure, being able to move positions or move to another country. And that's not something that you can get at every company. And so it's something that I personally love about Faurecia and why I would strongly consider that people come here.
All right. Thank you both.
Thank you
You
very
at
much.
home, if you want to apply, you can apply at careers.faurecia.com, on your LinkedIn, or at jobteaser.com. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank
for
you very
being
much.
here.
We're looking forward for new applications.
Yes.
Hope so. And you at home, as usual, see you very soon for a new live.